You don't need to know why the setup's like that. It's all bollocks. Now then, ladies. It might have been your mother, it might have been your father, it might have been your weird Aunt Bacha or something, but someone at some point warned you about sweet nothings and the boys who whisper them. Yes? The consensus was that these boys are only after one thing, right?
What I'm about to say is something I wish I knew before.
Indeed. It turns out it's more complicated than that. Some of them just want to be with you for a night. Some of them want to be with you for a lifetime. And some of them just feel like talking to you because they're nice. But some of them, a considerable proportion of the sweet nothing whisperers, don't want to be with you at all. They already have what they ultimately want, and it's a belief in a higher power. And their only end game with you is to establish a firmly planted conduit to the realm of the goddess. The guys who just want to be with you for a night are actually not that dangerous, but the guys who want to convert you to their goddess cult and worship your every fleeting pulsation, regardless of the strength of your moral choices, they are scary as fuck. You can have no idea what they're going to do if you break that conduit once it's established. They're either going to get very, very sad or very, very angry. 99 parts dark to 1 part funny still counts as funny.
Something that I should have said a long time ago.
What? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, yep, acting. Sorry. Oh, go on then. Right. I'm generally quite polite. I mean, I'm rude, but I'm polite enough to make the effort of at least being creative about it. Yeah, to do people the courtesy of brewing some original spicy recipes of insults. But just this once I'm not in the mood. You guys look like a bunch of faggots. And by that I don't mean homosexuals. I'm more than in favour of the rights and interests of such pioneers. In fact, if it's been in my mouth, it's been in my heart. Ding! When I say faggots, I mean you come across as the kind of humans whose presence removes all the moisture from every vagina and all the blood from every penis in the vicinity of your obscenity. This banana is emaciated, sir. This terracotta pie is cold. You are the wristiest motherfuckers whose image has ever threatened to invade the conical receptors of my retina. See, I can't not do it.
I'm sorry.
It's fine, it's my bad, really. I can be a total cunt sometimes.
I'm sorry.
Oh, don't look at your feet like a fucking puppy dog. Oh, look, I spoke out of line, you don't look like faggots. Your acting is splendid. It's a very difficult script, and there's barely a ghost of a character to work with in there. You're doing fine. Chin up. Alright, let's go.
To all the women in the world,
What about them?
I repeat, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, we heard you. Do you mind? Ron Howard's Frankenstein love child was talking.
I'm sorry for all the times that you have been lied to.
Oh, well, thank you. That's very sweet, Ron Howard the 12th. I love the word 12th. It's one of my favourite words. It's just one vowel, just one syllable, but there's so much going on in there. 12th. Sounds like someone shitting into some sand. 12th.
For all the times you've been hurt.
What about them? Oh, all right, you're saying sorry. I'm scatterbrained today. Thank you for your concern, but you needn't feel any sorrow on my behalf. Well, no one should feel any sorrow for all the times I've been hurt. No one's responsible for all that shit, except arguably myself. Again, I appreciate the sympathy, and I won't tell you not to feel sorrow on my behalf ever. I guess that's a normal reaction sometimes. I've been known to feel sorrow on behalf of others. I mean, makes me sad to see a friend in tears, and I'll be damned if I'll apologise for that. But you can only dry the freshest of tears, sir. You can cradle their shivering shoulders in your own and drown out the sound of their tears with your own. But you cannot take every tear they have ever shed and put it back in their eyes. Nor should you. Nor should you take every mistake they have ever made and put it into the back of your eyes. Such follies do not heal a person's esteem or humanity. They diminish it. Is there any chance any of you know what I'm talking about?
For all the times you've been wounded.
Oh, thank you again. You're all being exceptionally nice to me, I must say. Oh, shit, you're talking to women, aren't you? Sorry, still scatterbrained. Hungover, I think is the word I'm looking for, hungover.
But the so-called men in your life?
Oh, okay, now you've pissed me off. What is a so-called man, please? What's the difference between a man and a so-called man? And how is a woman downgraded from woman to so-called woman? If she has ever wounded a man, does that revoke her woman status? I would not say so. I'd say it might be because she's violent, or it might be because she's clumsy, or it might mean she's a formidable bedfellow. And conversely, sir, a man who has at some point or another wounded a woman might be clumsy, might be sexually adventurous, or might be a piece of shit. But in any of these cases, he is still called a man. No one gets to revoke that status. Not even God.
And I'm sorry for all the times that was me.
Ah, so you're one of these so-called men of which your bearded, po-faced friend speaks. Tell me, Spirit, what is it like on planet Shokalt?
I strove so long and so hard for this idea of manhood that the world threw at me.
What did the world throw at you?
I thought that I had to drink more than the next guy.
The world didn't throw that at you. That's what you throw back.
To lift more.
Well, if you're a professional labourer, then good for you. I hear you, bro. I lift things for a living. Built with the shoulders rather than the arms, as you can probably tell. I'm actually, shaped like a root vegetable. But that's not what you're talking about, is it? You're talking about lifting weights in your spare time, so you'll look more attractive to women.
I thought I had to be the best athlete on the field.
To impress women.
And then I had to be perfect in all these ways that didn't matter.
Amen, brother. Stop trying to look and act perfect just to impress women. Do these things for their own sake. Dare I say, for your own sake.
And worst of all, I pursued this shallow and false illusion of
being a perfect man.
Of attaining this
perfect manhood. Yeah. You will never attain perfect manhood. It's impossible. Man is imperfect by nature, just like woman. To achieve perfection is to know the future, and if you know your own future, your head will explode. So, yes, you and your friends are quite correct. You should stop trying to achieve perfect manhood on Earth for the sake of perfect womanhood in the heavens. That must be what you're about to say. You're about to say. And worst of all, I pursued this shallow and false illusion of attaining this perfect man.
And worst of all, I pursued this shallow and false illusion of attaining this perfect woman.
Okay, so never mind. Dude, what you're doing in this video is the distilled, purified essence of a shallow and false illusion of attaining the perfect woman. And that woman is all womankind. You want to attain a vision of womanhood itself as an infallible divinity before which you must prostrate yourself. And you are not even close to apologizing for that. You are still very much rubbing it in our faces. You only care about the pedestalized concept of women. I don't think you've ever actually met a woman. I mean, you've never met a woman's gaze and seen what you see in men's eyes. A challenging dungeonscape of sharp, uninviting edges. When you see a woman's gaze, you do not see a reminder of your humanity. You see an escape from it.
That made you out to be less than you actually are.
Yes, that's actually a much more concise way of putting it. Man with kettle-shaped head. Thank you.
Not more.
Yes, that is another way of saying less. Thank you, Frank and Ron. Dude, camera three! Camera three! You're looking at a light switch. Look, Ron missed his line. Guys, can anyone pick it up for him? Why did you leave these shots in? I'm asking both inside and outside this theatrical conceit I'm doing.
No. I messed up.
It's alright, Ron, it's my fault. We obviously didn't rehearse this.
I fell short. Many, many times.
That's none of my business, Ron. But you probably shouldn't apologise for that either. If you're out of practice, get more practice.
I'm sorry for all the times that I didn't feel like I loved you. So I turned to another girl.
To whom are you apologising? You're apologising to all women and all girls, including the ones you leave and including the ones you turn to. You apologise for turning to them and you apologise for turning away from them. The only solution here is never turn to a woman in the first place or you'll spend the rest of eternity apologising.
And when that didn't work, I would turn to a screen.
You mean this thing you're appearing on now? If you have to apologise for turning to it, what the hell do you have to do if it turns into you? Your life is an n-dimensional Rubik's Cube of voyeuristic guilt and shame, man with kettle-shaped head.
I turned to a perversion.
Ron, again, not the time or place, mate.
Of what real women are.
Oh, okay, what's a real woman? And what's a real woman? Is that like a man is a perversion of a so-called man? And you're still all doing this airheaded fucking doublethink thing, where you have to apologise to women for thinking the best of yourself, and you have to apologise to women for thinking the best of women. The only common element in this pattern seems to be, I'm sorry for having high hopes. About you, about myself, about anything. I did heartwarming stuff, guys. Serial.
I didn't know what I was doing. Caught up in myself.
Caught up is good. Tangled is not. I mean, if you are caught up in yourself, then good catch. If you're tangled in yourself, then untangle thyself, physician.
And so I'm sorry.
Look, man with kettle-shaped head, the only thing you should even think about apologising to all women for is apologising too much, and you should only think about it and not actually do it.
That Saturday night when you came over and all you wanted to do was talk, and I used it as an opportunity to manipulate you and use you.
It's called physical intimacy, dude. I think that's what you're talking about. I don't know how else that would work. If she's saying, all I want to do is talk, and you're responding, no, I'd rather manipulate you and use you without talking, I can only assume that this is your way of saying, I'm sorry I tried to hug you after you spent 3 hours bitching at me for going out with my friends last Saturday night. That was very manipulative of me.
I'm sorry.
It's quite alright, po-faced beardy one. An apology is not required from me and not deserved by the imaginary omniscience in the sky that you call women.
I've learned from these failures.
And no woman should ever have to learn from hers. Is that right? Ultimately? Fundamentally?
In no way am I perfect.
You're better than Ron Howard Mark 1. You can't ask for much more than that.
I don't know what it is to be the epitome of a man.
It's called a brain. Glad I could help.
But I've learned.
Citation needed! That's the first time I've ever pulled the citation needed card. And, it's only for the obvious sake of a joke. See, I never include citations, but I never demand them either. I can do it without the handlebars. But just juggling the logic. I'm a jester, you see. I'm a fool. But a rather dangerously clever fool, don't you think?
I must accept responsibility for my actions. I must choose to lead you, to guide you, to protect you, to serve you.
And I serve you by mocking you relentlessly. See, medieval court gestures tended to go on the chopping block as soon as they pissed off the Queen. And then one day they stopped doing that. And they let the jesters live to say whatever they like about the Queen. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was their first mistake.
To protect you from your thoughts that come from a world.
You're losing us, Ron. You're really losing us. Put it in language you understand.
That beats you down.
Right. Well, men get beat down more than women. Beat down by a world. I mean, what did you mean by a world, Ron? You meant derp, didn't you?
I know that I have to reject the temptation to passively be the illusion of a man for you.
Whoa. What?
I know that I have to reject the temptation to passively be the illusion of a man for you.
You should write philosophy books, dude. I'm fucking stumped. To be honest, I was already in trouble by the time you got to reject the temptation to passively be. Already sounds very sort of oxymoronic, right? But reject the temptation to passively be the illusion of a man for you. That is possibly a genius piece of just postmodern sort of word sculpture. It's like the front of your skull fell out onto a nearby piano and you accidentally wrote a 12-bar masterpiece. I honestly don't know whose brain has melted. I think it might actually be mine this time. Do you think you'll turn into a pumpkin if you don't constantly apologise? The hologram of a pumpkin? See, what's baffling me here is when you, as a man, when you feel the need to pander to an illusion of masculinity, you apologise to women for it. And when women feel the need to pander to an illusion of femininity, they demand men apologise for it. I just see what I mean. No matter who it is or where they are, whenever anyone, anywhere, tries to be a good person, women are victimised as a result. None of you see this. As a little teeny bit religiously deluded. No, of course not, because right now you're all chanting, but patriarchy! How can you say there is no God? Look at the trees!
I must lead you.
Best of luck dealing with the backlash from that, dude.
Courageously, with everything I have in me.
I don't know what's in you, dude. I think it might be salad cream. But man with kettle-shaped head is about to say something very, very interesting indeed.
I must love you as Jesus Christ loves his church.
This is one of sort of my recurring bits, folks. The observation that feminism is uncannily analogous to the Abrahamic faiths. I'll be honest, it started as a joke, but like so many jokes, not only does it appear to be true on the surface, but no matter how deep you look into it or from how many angles, it is still true in every femtoscopic edifice. It is scarcely deniable at this point. With each chapter of this theological dynasty, it has spread further beyond metaphysics and further into secular law. It started with Judaism, the low-budget breakthrough indie movie. Christianity was the unit-shifting sequel. Islam was the difficult third season. And feminism is the Phantom Menace.
I have to lay my life down for you.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, was probably exactly the kind of wet, meaningless spiel that a man named Joseph chanted at his wife Mary every fucking night and every fucking morning.
So that you may know how much you are loved.
Which drove her completely mental.
You are loved.
And so one night, she slipped out into the village and fucked a wandering Jew.
You are loved.
Or perhaps a Roman legionnaire. And when she became pregnant, the excuse she gave her virgin husband was God did it. And he listened and he believed, and the world was plunged into 1,000 years of darkness.
This isn't something that's up for debate. It's not an opinion.
And then, of course, the Eastern Bloc became jealous of this dark age. So they decided to elect their own messiah, and they chose the most henpecked, pussy-whipped small business owner in the history of the human race. Mahatma Gandhi. Alors, maintenant, je suis Charlie.
You are God's beloved.
Allahu Akbar! If you stand up in a crowded place and shout, God is great, right? People all around you will shit their pants and fear for their lives. Religion of peace!
You're the crown of creation.
And you are the turtle's head of creationism.
Because of this, I ask, no, I beg you. Please, never settle for a boy. You deserve a man.
Dude! Like, 9-year-old girls are going to hear this. You just don't think these things through, do you? Or do you?
Men who will protect you.
And then apologize for being overprotective.
Guide you.
And then apologize for being overbearing.
Lead you.
And then apologize for the patriarchy.
And die to himself for you.
I can't figure out for sure if he said guide himself for you or die to himself for you there. And I'd rather just shelve it as an I didn't quite hear you, because I can't deal with that shit right now. It actually sounds at this point like Christians are making a concerted effort to train suicide bombers. It's remarkably easy, actually. If you can get them to apologize for being alive, then getting them to kill themselves is nothing.
You are so gorgeous.
Oh God, Ron! Oh God! Oh, good galloping fuck, Ron. I don't want to piss in your pocket, mate, but it's just not doing it for me. I can give the finger to history's largest empire, but you are genuinely fucking frightening.
You are unique.
No, I'm not. Lots of people will react the same way to what you're doing. You're whispering sweet nothings to an ethereal spirit in the sky. If it's indistinguishable from something that can land you in a mental hospital, it's legitimately creepy.
You're worthy.
How about because you're worth it? Po-faced beardy man. You're...
Thank you for being a reflection of God's love to those around you.
Likewise. Have you seen Easter Island? You are a god!
Thank you for being just so lovable.
Ugh. This is why I drink. I drink so I don't throw up.
Thank you for being thoughtful.
Thank you for being smart.
Why is my head? Why?
Thank you for being sweet.
For being beautiful.
Oh my God, they killed Mike! You bastards.
Thank you for being a dork.
Who the fuck are you calling a dog? You cheeky little shit! Apologize to all the animals!
Thank you for being compassionate.
Mike, seriously, you have to get up. Your arms can't actually take this. I'm not getting up, I'm too tired.
Thank you for bringing me so much joy.
You're going to tire yourself to death because you're too tired to not be tired. Surely you can see how this conversation is not good for your health and also impossible. What conversation? This one! The one you're having now with yourself! You're gonna have to narrow it down.
Thank you for being holy.
Ah! Ha, ha! Okay, I'm alive. Okay, holy, you say. You are quite welcome to my holiness, sir. And I apologize for not sharing them.
Thank you for being caring.
Ron! Hey there! Listen, mate, you can't treat people like superior beings to yourself and then expect them to be caring about you. It's mental. Dude, of course it's not going to work. It's like asking an immortal god to give a shit about a mortal creature. It's not impossible, but, best of luck.
Thank you for being the perfect you.
I'm not the perfect me, man with kettle-shaped head. Neither are you. Your head isn't even shaped like a kettle. It's shaped like a head. And we should all be glad of this, because being the perfect you means you've finished with life. That means not only game over, but all achievements unlocked, and you're finally bored shitless of the game. I hope that never happens. I hope you never reach perfection, man with kettle-shaped head. I hope the thrill of the journey fills your every day with joy. And tea.
Thank you for being a part of my life.
We agreed not to discuss the details of that.
One of the biggest parts.
Especially not those details. Don't you bite your lip at me, you scallywag. Go on, get...
So thank you.
You're welcome. I enjoyed your performance. It was very realistic. That's what makes it so... I think chilling can be a compliment, right?
Thank you.
You, kind of stony and bland, I get it. But the youngsters love that kind of shit. You're hired, sir.
Thank you for being you.
That is a completely meaningless sentiment. Po-faced beardy man, especially when made to a formless entity.
For being you.
Yeah, you said already.
For being you.
Stop repeating verbal fluff. This is actually a waste of cognition.
For being you.
At 2, Ron. Ron. Fuck you, Ron. Yeah, and fuck you too, John Paul II. There is no such thing as the duty of every man. There is no such thing as the dignity of every woman, because there is no such thing as every woman, and there is no such thing as every man, except in fiction. Especially your own brand of fiction, Mr. Second. In reality, each human being is their own agent with their own definition of dignity and their own definition of a duty. And indeed, you may find, if you leave people to their own devices, there will indeed be some men who make it their duty to uphold the dignity of women, and there will indeed be some women who make it their duty to uphold the dignity of men. But if you force men and women into your strict one-way version of these devices, where men's only duty is to the dignity of women, and women's only duty is to the dignity of God, then in my humble opinion, you're probably going to create something rather unnatural and unsustainable. And in my layman estimation, you already have. And it's starting to come apart at the seams. Why don't we see what happens if we leave the one-way system behind and have a world where everyone's just friends who have each other's backs? Because right now you're trying to spoon every woman in the world, while every woman in the world spoons God. And those are both far too big for that spoon. Alright? Get your head out the clouds, turn around and spoon something real. Or just carry on experimenting with a butter knife and a root vegetable. Whatever's your poison. But, don't use women to spoon God. Not even if they ask you to. Especially not if they ask you to. Because there is no God-shaped spoon. So yeah, goodbye and fuck right. I still have no idea what I mean by that, but I hope you do.